Darcy, always a lot of excitement when international hockey teams gather in this country. And when the Soviets meet the Canadians, well, it's pretty exciting for all players involved, particularly a young lineup of Canadian players. There you'll see the Soviet lineup as the Moscow Dynamo get ready to search for their 4th straight victory of this tournament. Some familiar names in there. Yaryanov, Golikov. And they have been a very impressive hockey team on this tour so far. Semenov, number 26, another of the outstanding young Soviet players on this squad, or Semenov, not that young, I should say, but familiar names anyway, and the coaching staff. As far as Team Canada is concerned, there are not very many familiar faces on the team, but this is Dave King's first assessment of what might be available for talent for his team 1988, the Olympic year, with Calgary hosting the Olympic Games. And as far as Canada is concerned, a very important program under the auspices of Hockey Canada, trying to find out exactly who will be available for the 1988 Olympic Games. Now, we've had a slight problem with the official opening ceremonies. They've rolled out the red carpet, Darcy, but unfortunately the bottom of the red carpet has remained partially on the ice, so it has a few little chunks of rubber out there. So I'm sure the crews will be out, and the Zamboni is now on the ice along with 42 hockey players skating in circles. You suggested, Darcy, that might be a problem when they did roll it out. Let's meet the officials for tonight. The referee is Cliff Gauthier, and he's from Burlington. Steve Baker and Greg Hinkson are the linesmen for this, the 4th game in the series. Well, Darcy, looking back to Game 3 in the series, it was a 6-2 hockey game in favor of the Moscow Dynamo. But Team Canada scored a few goals and had some excellent opportunities. Here are the starting goalies for tonight. Nikitin of the Soviet Union making his 2nd start, and Daryl Trakalo from the University of Manitoba for Canada. He is making his 2nd start of this 10-game series as well. There's Coach Dave King. And we look to the Canadian team, the scoring in last night's hockey game. As far as the Soviets were concerned, they got into the 2-1 lead after 1 period of play. But Canada had some outstanding scoring opportunities.
Yes, they did play very well last night, especially in the 3rd period where they had 19 shots on net. And the goaltender for the Soviets was outstanding, or it could have been a much closer hockey game.
Now moving on through the 2nd and 3rd period, we told you the final score was 6-2. Canada kept it close for a while. The Soviets did come up with a big 2nd period, and it was 5-1 after 2 periods of play. And the final scores we did mention 6-2. Shots on goal, as far as the Soviets were concerned, 12-11. So they scored on several good scoring opportunities and came away with a 5-1 lead. And in the 3rd period, the final shots 19-9 as far as Canada was concerned, for a 43-37 total. That was Game 3 in the series.
It was a much more physical game in Game 3 at Windsor. Both teams maybe a little testy. 3rd game of a series. Tempers a little short. Hard hits on both sides.
Well, Dave King was beaming for a Canadian victory at the Spengler Cup hockey tournament in Davos, Switzerland. Canada over the Soviet Union 4-3 in that game, in the final game. So Canada had to win that final game, came through with a victory in the Spengler tournament. Now, it is one of the major international tournaments, and Dave King is really in charge of Team Canada 85. He is the overseer of the team that was overseas in Davos taking part in that series. So he was beaming about it today. And King is expecting 4 players from the Canadian team at the Spengler tournament to join this edition of Team Canada, and they will be in action later on. Players like Darren Lowe and Harry Croft, Bill Holowati, and Don McLaren, all expected to be in this Team Canada lineup. Now the series will continue Thursday, January 3rd in Ottawa, as far as TSN is concerned. Our 4th telecast, Sunday, January 16th from the Saddledome in Calgary, and then Wednesday, January 9th from the Forum in Montreal. The TSN games still ahead. Now, the other games, the games also coming up in Kitchener that's the next game of the series on January the 2nd, Friday, January 4th in Toronto, and Monday, January 7th in Thunder Bay. Tickets are still available for games in most locales, so if you'd like to see some international hockey, good opportunity to see a top-flight Soviet team and the Moscow Dynamo take on Team Canada 85. Well, we've talked about this, Darcy, earlier in our telecast on TSN, but really the aggregation of Canadian hockey players here, really we cannot expect to see this team or this group as the Olympic team. It is the first assessment by Dave King for 88.
It is the first assessment that Dave King is taking a look at. The players have put out, he's been very happy by the effort. He has installed a system that they all can use and are familiar with. And in Windsor, for the third game, they tried a new forechecking system where they had one player that was designated as the deep man that would stay back by the blue line with the two defensemen and let the other two forwards go in and forecheck, get a good buzz going, and to stop that long breakaway pass that the Dynamo hockey team has been so effective with. And it worked. They never had one breakaway in Game 3.
Well, we'll see if that develops in Game 4 as we are apparently ready right now to get this hockey action underway. It is Game 4 of a 10-game series of the Moscow Dynamo across Canada. And we hope you're enjoying the action on TSN. Dynamo #1 in their division of Soviet hockey, so it's a very well-rounded squad, and they've added several other players to the team, a little younger flair. Rather a veteran team as you look at some of the names out there. Golikov, 30 years old, but still a skater. Helmut Balderas is 32, but he has 4 goals in this tournament so far. We're underway at the Gardens in London, and starting out for Canada, this is Rob Whistle, number 5. Whistle gets to the Soviet line and had to turn back. Now regrouping back behind his own line. Right out in front of the Canadian goal, and here comes Canada, 2-on-1 break going down the left side. Good shot fired just wide. And back to the point. It's Holloway unable to keep it in for Canada. Canadians have the Soviets hemmed in their own zone. Here's Holloway. He's got a big shot fired one right on. And the save made by Nikitin. Rebound comes loose to Canada. The Soviets regroup now. Bozakov ahead for Varianov. He's in the center ice area. Let's go with a shot. That one deflecting off Francois Sills and into the corner. Now it comes to Sills on the right side and up over the boards and out of play.
Very good start for Team Canada. They had a couple good chances early in the game.
All right, early in the opening period, this is Game 4. You're watching Team Canada 80. Face-off is to the right of Darryl Tricalo in goal for Canada, his second start in this series. He was in goal the other night in Windsor. Gave up 6, but played pretty well in certain stages of the game. Face-off, it's out across Canadian line into the neutral zone and back across the Soviet line. Balderas, number 19, couldn't take a pass. Now Semenov gets it in across the line, and Golikov lost it. Back to the point. It's Payusov taking the shot. Kicked out loose out in front of the Canadian goal. There are 4 Canadians there. The Dynamo taken out of the play neatly, but it could have been costly. Now for Canada, Mike Ridley in across the line. Cleared back into the neutral zone, and coming up with it, Halkidas. Over for Ken Duggan. Soviets now in control inside the Canadian line, back to the point. Shot fired wide by Slipchenko. And it's loose around behind the Canadian goal. Picked up back there by Halkidas. Soviets in control in the Canadian zone now. Canada clearing to the center ice area. And the play just failed for Mike Ridley. It's into the Soviet zone. And back to pick it up, Semenov. Semenov out of the center ice area. Team Canada doing a pretty good job of staying close with the Soviets. This is Antipov, number 25. His shot fired right on. Tricalo made the save and got caught under his equipment.
There you look at Craig Simpson. Many feel will be the #1 draft choice in the amateur NHL draft this June. He's a second-year Michigan State University, and he's playing his first game with his older brother, David Simpson, who's the team captain for Team Canada.
And what makes it even nicer for the Simpson brothers is this is hometown, London, Ontario. So I'm sure the family is in the crowd tonight. 5 years difference in age between the two. Younger Simpson, just 17. Tricalo, good save right off the face-off. And it's cleared over on the left side boards by Team Canada. Out of the line and out. Backhanded out by Newell Brown, center ice zone. That's Greenlaw Green line is first game for Team Canada, number 28. Canadians forechecking well, keeping it in the Soviet zone. Jim Quinn, number 6. Soviets now regroup. Here come the Dynamo. But this time by Antipov. Antipov gets the line, not across, and Ferrov gets a shot. It's golfed out across the line, and the Soviets control in the neutral zone. Dumped in across the Canadian line, and it's Simpson. David Simpson back behind his own line, feeding it ahead on the left side. Serge Roy backhands it into the Moscow zone. 16:45 to play in the opening period. No scores so far. Team Canada 85 against the Moscow Dynamo. Akulinin in across the line, number 8. Ian is taken away. Now Prirodin tries for the Soviets, and here comes Team Canada, led this time by Rob Whistle. Whistle into the corner, stop, trying to clear it back to the point, right on the stick of Prirodin, and he starts down the right side. Prirodin slowing down over to Akulinin. Akulinin taken out of the play. Soviets come up with the puck in the corner. Akulinin, number 8, clears it right out in front. They score. Akulinin put it right on the stick of Prirodin, and it's 1-0 for the Moscow Dynamo. One little mistake, Darcy, and you can't make them against a team like this.
No, you really can't. Akulinin made a nice pass out to Prirodin. You notice here, Akulinin just throws it out blind. Prirodin just one-times it high in the stick side. Another view of it here, just one-times it high. Trackload had no chance on that.
So it is 1-0. Team Canada has not scored the first goal in any game in this tournament. First goal for the Moscow Dynamo. It's 1-0 with 15 minutes, 54 seconds to play in the first period from London. Face off in the Soviet zone to the right of Nikitin. And it's center ice for Canada. Brad Sherr, born in Waterloo. He plays at the University of Western Ontario right here in London. Soviets around behind their goal. Up to the line and out. Picked up there by Terry Jones for Canada, number 12. Jones flipped it in across the line. The Dynamo control there. Center ice zone now. The Soviets start back. This time they're offside at the Canadian blue line. Well, there's Dave King. Nicer guy you wouldn't really want to meet in this business. He is as friendly as you can believe. And we mentioned earlier that he was ecstatic about the Team Canada win at the Spengler tournament. Now, it gets a little bit confusing with all the hockey tournaments and action going on in international circles around this festive period, but the Spengler tournament is a very major tournament in Europe and has been dominated by the Soviet Union for the past 5 years, so a Canadian win there is really pretty big news. Into the corner now for the Soviets. Balderas, number 19, cleared it out in front, and it was neatly trapped by Tricalo, who didn't want to take any kind of chances on that. Reminder, TSN will have the Blue Bonnet Bowl, West Virginia against Texas Christian. That's coming up New Year's Eve, and we'll have it for you at 8 o'clock Eastern Time here on the Sports Network. Face-off is to the right of Tricalo in the Canadian goal. And for Canada, good chance here for Doucette. Doucette struggling in, and a penalty is going to be called as Doucette was hauled down. The referee, Cliff Gauthier.
Good effort by Doucette there. Breaking in, Balderas had to haul him down. Will go off 2 minutes. Doucette was the player of the game in Windsor. You can look at the hold by Balderas.
Balderas really didn't have much of a chance, or much of a choice, I should say, Darcy.
Well, Doucette made a nice move there, and he had to haul him down, or he'd been all alone.
So Team Canada on the power play. Back behind his own goal. Halkidis for Canada, number 25. That's Ken Duggan. Duggan in across the Soviet line. After it, Sills. Sills tried to center it out in front. He was taken off the puck by Glushenkov. Into the corner now, Canada. Doucette. Doucette tried to get it back to the point. Not all the way back, and the shot is right on Trakelos. The Soviets clear it out of their zone. Now starting back, Kosteruk for Canada, number 13 down the left side. He's neatly taken out of the play by Vazikov. In behind the Soviet goal. And another penalty coming up.
Kosteruk should go off for 2 minutes for upsetting Vazikov in the corner. He stuck his leg out, and as you notice here, breaking down. Watch him stick his right leg out and up in him. Oof.
So the power play did not last all that long. 1 minute 9 seconds gone in the remaining in the Soviet penalty. Now 2 full minutes for Kosteruk.
Canada, number 13, Mark Kosteruk. 2 minutes for tripping at 5:40.
Kosteruk for tripping, and Balderas is already in the penalty box.
And Mark Kosteruk there, you just saw, is a real feisty guy. He's his 3rd year at Concordia University, and he's their best player.
He's a native of North Bay, Ontario. 22 years old. Both teams at 4 aside now. Soviets trying to gain possession. This is Popakin. Popakin to the line and across. And he is taken out of the play. Couldn't get through. Vazikov kept it in for the Soviets. Back to the point. And Ferrov, number 21, working into the side of the net. And it's back to the point. Vazikov can't keep it in. 45 seconds remaining in the Soviet penalty. 1 minute 34 seconds remaining in the penalty to Kosteruk of Team Canada. In the Canadian zone, working along the boards, the Soviets keep it in. This is Zubilchev. Loose to the side of the circle in the Canadian zone and picked up by Simpson. Simpson left it in the center ice area, and Zubilchev picks it up. Vazikov. Varianov. Soviets patiently waiting for their penalty to expire. Now just 2 seconds in. And the Soviets are back at full strength. The Moscow Dynamo have 47 seconds with a manpower advantage. They lead it 1-0 on Team Canada 85. Canadians forechecking well. This is Von Karpen. Karpen gets it back behind his own line where Canada can control it. Now it's cleared down the ice. Karpen racing after it. He's up against Slipchenko, number 24. And coming up with it, Payuzov. Slipchenko behind his own goal. 23 seconds left in the penalty. To Canada. The Canadian line and across. Karpen into the corner after it. Karpen tries to freeze it along the boards. And finally gets his whistle. So with 12 minutes, 30 seconds to play in period 1, Moscow Dynamo have a 1-0 lead.
Pretty good start. Yes, it is. There's Helmut Balderas. And I asked the Russian interpreter why he's got the word jazz atop his helmet. And the reason for that is he loves jazz music.
I know it. I don't see any Michael Jackson decals on any of those Soviet helmets down there. I suppose they'd call him Mikhail Jackson over there if they've heard of him. Soviets controlling in the Canadian zone with 5 seconds left in the penalty to Kosteruk. And Trakello holds on for a whistle. So it should be relatively easy for Team Canada to kill off the remaining 3 seconds of this penalty. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 85, 1-0. Face-off in the Canadian zone to the left of Daryl Trakello into the corner. And after it is Ken Duggan. Duggan gets it to the line, not quite out. Soviets working well around the Canadian goalie Trakello. Now into the corner after it. Dave Simpson back in behind the Canadian goal where it's claimed by Duggan. Duggan gets it to the line, not out as the Soviets able to keep it in. This is Belushikov. Back into the slot to Golikov. Back to the point. It was offside. And they tried to slip that one by, but the referee was right on the spot. The linesman, I should say, Steve Baker.
They're always looking for that nice little cute little play, and Balderas is one of the best stick handlers in the world, and he showed some of his moves in the first 3 games, and I'm sure we'll see more of it as the series goes on.
Faceoff will be just outside the Canadian line. Well, the Soviets, Antipov at center for Team Canada, Schnurr. And this is Brad Schnurr going down the right side, cleared it out in front, working right in. That time a good chance for Team Canada for Jacques Sylvestre, number 18. Soviet goaltender Nikitin has not been tested very severely in the opening period. We approach the halfway mark with 11 minutes, 31 seconds left in period one. Right out in front of the Canadian goal, Zabrelchev, number 18, turned away from the net and couldn't make a play. Back to the Soviet line, Bozakov, number 4, and a good hit. That time on Adverov as the Soviets start back. Antipov. Right out in front. Rakello made the save, but there was a good play out in front by Rob Whistle as well. Rob Whistle, number 5 for the Canadians. This is Sylvestre losing it. Soviets a chance here, but Sylvestre comes back to make the play and get himself off the hook a little bit. For Canada now. Doucette. He lost it. A close checking effort by Slivchenko. Soviets on the attack once more. Sasha written out of the play. Number 15, he took a pretty good check into the boards. And it's held along boards far side of the ice for a face-off. I think it's pretty spirited hockey.
Yes, it is a very spirited game right now. Balderas' line has 7 goals and 7 assists in 3 games. And they have been by far the best line for the Soviet Union.
For Team Canada now, Serge Roy. He lost it to Prirodin. Into the corner now. Roy once more along the boards. And ahead on the right side for Francois Sill. Sill looks for the rink wide pass. It's intercepted by Sashov. Sashov gets it in behind the Canadian goal. Canada back in control. Slivchenko kept it in at the point. Soviets play it very close in the wide open areas. Now Sill will be set going in to score.
Good effort by Team Canada there. Ostrak finishes off the play there. You know what we said? There's a great job forechecking here. And the puck goes back to Kostrak, and he shoots it, beats Nikitin behind the glove. Great job of forechecking by Doucette here.
Lost his balance a little bit there, but Kostrak trailing on the play put it in.
Big goal for Canada. They've been struggling up late, and first good chance they really had all night.
Mark Kostrak, assisted by number 10, Benoit Doucette, and number 8, Paul Thomas. Time 10-13.
Here's another good chance for Team Canada. Shot right on. Fired that time by Mike Ridley. To the blue line and out. Good play defensively by Duggan. The Soviets start right back. That was Berudinov. Back to the point. They shoot and score. So the Soviets come back very, very quickly as
Yes, Mariana finishes off a nice pass from Berudinov. Notice here, Berudinov goes behind the net. Upsets the Canadian defenseman and just passes it back to Mariana after he just one-times it and beats the goaltender on the short side.
short side. Tricalo could have maybe hugged that post a little more, Darcy.
Good hard shot, yes. Another look at it right here. Hits the stick and goes in the short side.
So all of a sudden, the Soviets back in a 1-goal lead. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 2-1. 9 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the first period. The Soviets, Balderas going after it. Tricalo is out of his net to clear it ahead on the boards. Back to the line and fired just wide by Popikin that time. Vezikov keeps it in. Golikov gets a shot on net just without very much power. Back to the line. And Canada to the line, not quite out again. This is Golikov, number 10 for Balderas. Balderas going to the backhand that time. Duggan clear to the side for Canada. And the right side boards for Mike Ridley. Ridley can't control it. Bullet drive that time by Vazikov. Now a shot. A weak one that fooled Tricalo a little bit from Popikin. Now for Canada. This is Craig Simpson. Simpson across the Soviet line. Couldn't really get a shot away. Still in the Canadian zone. They're still in the Soviet zone. Canadians have the Moscow Dynamo hemmed in just a little bit. And now Now it's in the neutral area. Flipped back into the Soviet zone by Rob Whistle. Ahead for Balderas. Soviets break out once more. Back across the Soviet line. Vazikov goes back for it. 2-1. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada. And on the left side, it goes all the way down. And back for it is Bruce Holloway. Icing called against the Moscow Dynamo. 7 minutes and 51 seconds to play in the opening period. Soviets lead Team Canada 85, 2-1. Dave King had it all even for a little bit in the first period. Now he's back trailing the Soviets by 1 goal. It's 2-1. Face off in the Moscow Dynamo zone. Back there with it, and Ferrov, number 21. Soviets break out. Good back check in by Team Canada. This is Simpson. Simpson dumps it in. And on the far side, Greenlaw couldn't come up with a loose puck. Mishandled slightly by the Dynamo. They come out so quickly once more. This is Zabilchev. And on the right wing, back to the point. Slipchenko. Slipchenko fired that one just wide. And Holloway for Canada. And on the left wing boards and out across the line. Here's a chance for Canada. 2-on-1. It's called on the outside. The captain of Team Canada, Dave Simpson.
Yes, he's a real fine choice to be captain. I got to know Dave. He came to our training camp in Vancouver this past season. He's a real fine person, and he's playing with his younger brother for the first time in his life. And I talked with him today. He's very excited about it.
Younger brother is Craig Simpson, just 17 years old, in the Team Canada lineup for the very first time. And the Simpson brothers are from London, Ontario, so expect a pretty good show from them tonight. Soviets finally trying to clear it out of their own zone. Good hit that time. Administered by Jim Quinn of Team Canada. Now the puck rolls down the ice for Kello out of his net to set it up. Brad Schnurr, University of Western Ontario product. Pass across 2 lines as he connected with Terry Jones, number 12. And they'll take it back inside the Canadian line for a face-off.
Terry Jones is his first year, University of Calgary. He's a Trail native, and he's majored in physical education. Spunky little guy.
From the face-off, shot fired high and wide of Trichello. He lost it for a moment as it bounced back off the glass. Along the boards in the Canadian zone, that's Benoit Doucette for Canada. And on the right wing, the Soviet line, and clear to the neutral area once more. Here for Canada now. Doucette has a chance for it. Now Sills. Sills plays it over on the right wing side. And over there for it is Alcanis. Soviets out once more. Popikin ahead on the left side. This is Skurduk, number 7. Skurduk. Rink wide pass for Varianov. And it comes loose to Canada's Simpson. That's Craig Simpson, 25. Into the neutral zone once more is the Moscow Dynamo back there to regroup. This is Skurduk, number 7 for the Soviets. And he's taken right off the puck. He dumps it into the Canadian zone anyway, but Canadians are back. It's hit with a high stick. So the score, 2-1. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada. 5 minutes and 36 seconds remain in period 1. John Wells along with Darcy Rhoda back at the Gardens in London, Ontario. This is Team Canada 85 against the Moscow Dynamo. From the faceoff, good save by Trichello. A pretty quick glove hand that time. Across the Canadian line now. This is Balderas, and Balderas taken neatly out of the play. Chance for Canada here. This is Craig Simpson. Simpson ridden out by Jordan. Dynamo back to the Canadian line. That's Golikov dropping it back right out in front. Good shot, good save. And cleared. Trichello made a good save on a nice setup. Icing is called, but there wasn't much the Canadian team could do but clear it out of there in a hurry, Darcy.
Well, Trichello is very sharp tonight, and he started He's waited 12 years for an opportunity to play the Soviet Union, and he held himself very well in Windsor.
He's a goaltender from the University of Manitoba, born in Winnipeg. Cleared down the ice by the Canadians. Payuzov back for the Soviets. Here's a chance for Simpson going in well wide of the net, but he had a chance to set something up and couldn't control the puck. One-on-one, Team Dynamo against Team Canada going in. The shot just fired wide that time, and Farron had to go off the leg of Jim Quinn, who was back playing it rather well. Off Quinn's leg and just wide. Now long shot, handled easily by Nikitin. Into the corner, Canada. Quinn keeps it in at the blue line. Quinn gets the shot away. Nikitin kicks it out. Over on the right side to Brilchev for the Soviets. Drop pass and fired high and wide that time by Antipov. Greenlaw. Kello was down, but really didn't have to play the puck. Soviets in control behind the Canadian goal. Zabrilchev once more. Zabrilchev falling. He's being checked closely by Quinn, number 6. So the face-off will be in the Canadian zone. Just 3 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the opening period at the Gardens in London. Canada trailing the Soviets by 1. Face-off in the Team Canada zone. It'll be the left of Daryl Tricallo. Number 12 for the Soviets. Marianov, the number 1. Along the boards, they struggle for it. Great strength exhibited by the Soviets for Rudinov, number 20. As he holds 2 Canadians at bay, at least momentarily, for Rudinov, still fighting for the puck. They wrestled that face-off pretty well, didn't they, Darn?
Quick coverage, one-on-one.
All right, we'll continue with our hockey coverage here on TSN. The Soviet Union, Moscow Dynamo series, but also Canada Cup hockey. We'll look back to the Soviet Union Canada Cup playoff game in the Canada Cup, and that'll be coming your way on New Year's Day. We hope you'll enjoy it. Oh, just fired wide that time, or slipped wide by Varianov, as Tricallo misjudged it a little bit, but it was wide. Soviets really have the Canadians pinned in their own zone. Now here's a chance for Canada. Alcatis, and now in across the line. Pass didn't quite make it through to Sylvestre, number 18. Jones, Terry Jones in his first time in the Team Canada lineup. Sylvestre back to the points and fired in by Halkitis. Halkitis, a native of Toronto, plays for the London Knights. Back to the line, and Canada keeps it in. This time it's Sylvestre, number 18, losing it. And here come the Dynamo. They come out so efficiently most of the time. It didn't work out quite that well that time. Skurduk circling back behind his own line as the Soviets make some changes. 2 minutes and 6 seconds remain in the first period. For Canada now, Rob Whistle claims it at his own blue line. A pass over on the left side, failed to work. And he's after it again. Whistle got it dumped into the Soviet zone. Benoit Doucette, number 10, is racing in after it. The Soviets clear it quickly up. All the way down, and Whistle goes after it. Will not be called as icing as Holloway picks it up for Canada. Holloway flipped it ahead. It's too high and off the glass. We'll have a face-off back behind the Canadian line. There's the Soviet brain trust. Davidov. Tilly Davidov, head coach of the Moscow Dynamo. They have very different coaching strategies, Darcy.
Yes, it is much different, and the players listen to him, watch him practice. They have his attention all the time.
For Canada, Holloway gets it across the line. The Soviets quickly back in. Balderas, number 19. Smooth skater, finally separated from the puck, and it's into the corner. Balderas comes up with it again, though. In around behind the net, right out in front. And Golikov failed to make contact, or at least sufficient contact to get a good chance there. For Canada now, fired in by Kosteruk, but it's offside.
This line of Kosteruk, Doucette, and Sills has been by far Canada's best line. They've scored 6 goals so far in this tournament. Sills has got 3, Doucet 2, and Kostrick scored his first goal in the tournament in this first period.
Face-off will be just outside the Soviet blue line. And the Soviets quickly to the attack. Antipov hits the Canadian blue line, not across. Canadians standing up well at their own blue line. Slivchenko in across the line, but Canada regaining possession. This is Serge Roy, head on the right side. Good collision between Antipov, number 25 for the Soviets,
sticks and elbows getting a little higher there. I'm not sure which player, but one of the Soviet Unions lost his stick. Antipov. This stick came flying out of his hands, landed in the Team Canada bench.
And no one was too quick to hand it back, were they?
Not really.
38 seconds to play in the first period. 2-1 Soviets. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 85. In across the Canadian line, it's off a stick and high over the boards. That time off the stick of Paul Thomas. Thomas from Western Ontario. That, of course, headquartered here in London, so he's another one of the London products, or at least London representatives.
Yes, he didn't play Game 3. He's got a very sore knee, but he is a real hard hitter.
This is Serge Roy, free for Canada. Roy fires it in off the boards, going in after it. Ridley, number 14 for Canada. Ridley trying to clear it out for Karpin. That play failed to click, and here come the Soviets once more. Led by Varianov. Sashov to the side of the net. And Canada with 8 seconds left in the opening period. Ahead across the line. It's offside. As Von Karpin was in just a half a stride ahead of the puck. Well, first period, quick assessment, Darcy. 5 seconds to go.
Well, Canada, I think, is quite fortunate to be only behind 2-1. They've worked hard at times, but the goaltender held them in, no doubt about that.
Four seconds on the clock in the first period, and we'll face that one off again. 2-1, Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada.
Get a look at Dave Simpson again there, the 1982 Canadian Junior Player of the Year.
We'll have a chat with Dave between first and second periods here. And that's the end of the first. 2-1, the Moscow Dynamo lead Team Canada. It was even at the outset, of course, but Canada came back to tie things up at 1-1. The Soviets back so quickly to take that 1-goal lead.
It was a
So as far as Canada is concerned, it's close going into the second period. They have been close in this series earlier, like in Game 1, when the score was 2-1 after 2 periods of play. But the Canadians have had some problems in the second period. Hopefully, they'll be able to adjust to that. So the score after 1, you see it there. Along with Darcy Rhoda, and this is the Gardens in London, Ontario, where Moscow Dynamo lead Team Canada 85 2-1 as we get ready to begin the play in the second period. Scoring in the first period for Rodin at 3:49 gave the Soviets a 1-0 lead. But Kosteruk came back at 10:13 to give Canada the tie at 1-1. However, shortly after that, less than 30 seconds after that, the Soviets back into the lead. Varianov, and the shots on goal, Moscow 12, Team Canada 5. I suppose, Darcy, that tells a little bit of the story, the shots on goal.
Yes, the Soviets had a very strong period there, and Trakolo was played a very good period in goal. And one thing I noticed that period is that the Canadians were having a lot of trouble getting the puck out of their own end. And when the puck gets to the winger along the boards, it's his duty. I'm as a former winger, and I know it's my duty to get that puck out any way I have to, either ice it, make a good pass, freeze it, or if you have to take the defenseman out of the play, just as long as you get that puck out, that's your duty.
Well, there's Dave King, along with assistant coach Jacques Noel, and I suppose they have made some mid-course corrections in the dressing room between the first and the second period. You talked earlier, Darcy, about Team Canada being very alert in the offensive zone and able to control the play in there very well. Maybe they were concentrating too much on that and lost a little bit of their their plans or their plays in their own zone.
They did have a third man back that whole period. They did not want to get burnt on a breakaway pass, and they're effective at it, but it may take something away from their offensive drive.
Referee is Cliff Gauthier, and he is just about set to drop the puck to get period number 2 underway at the London Garden. Rather enthusiastic crowd on hand here to see this 4th game, the 10-game tour by the Moscow Dynamo, the #1 rated team in their division of the Soviet Union. And of course, they're a very strong hockey club, and some extra players along on the trip that make them a little younger in some ways. And it's a very veteran Moscow Dynamo lineup. And for Team Canada, well, 60 players are on this roster, and Coach Dave King has been having a look at just about everyone, so the lineup changes night to night. There is not enough time for the team to get together and regroup. The face-off ends up along the boards in the Canadian zone, and the next face-off will be to the right of Trakalo in goal for Canada. Rodionov, number 20 of the Soviet Union. He's 26 years old. Be a tough name to get on a personalized license plate. What do you think?
It would be very difficult. A lot of these names be a lot of fun.
They'll do it all over again. Same face-off circle to the right of Trakalo in goal for Team Canada. This time the Canadians get it in behind the net. Now the Soviets take over back there, around and beside the net. And Trakalo was guarding that left post and kept it out.
He made a good play there, just guarding his post. The Soviet forward tried to jam the puck in. They made a good play on it. Just about goes in there, but a good play by the goaltender.
Look, it's right on edge. Soviets keep it in the Canadian zone. The shot fired well wide. Now for the Soviet Union. Skurduk taken out. He lost his helmet. Here comes Team Canada. 3-man attack. Led by Doucette. Doucette, number 10, dropped it back, and the Soviets are able to clear it. Skurduk still playing without a helmet. It's up over the boards, and we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. Early moments of period number 2 in London, and the Moscow Dynamo leading Canada 2-1. And the Soviets claim it there. For Moscow Dynamo, Durden, number 22. Along the boards, checked by Ridley. This is Slipchenko, 24, going in after it. Soviets out across their own line, led by Shashov. Number 15, Shashov, ridden out neatly. The puck is loose out in front. And claiming it for Canada, there's going to be a penalty there, as it was cleared to the Canadian line by number 7, Ken Duggan.
He'll still go off for 2 minutes for hooking. Trakalo made a couple of outstanding saves. One on Golikov there.
He walked in alone, didn't he?
He did, and without Trakalo, he's playing much like the way 7A played the first 2 games, and he's been outstanding so far.
So Canada will be shorthanded for 2 minutes. Face off in the Canadian zone.
Ken Duggan, 2 minutes for hooking at 1:53.
1:53 of the second period. Duggan is off for hooking. And the Soviets' power play really has been quite effective during this.
The Canadians will want to force the Soviets all over the ice to make them hurry their plays.
Shashov at center for the Soviet Union with a face-off to the left of Trakalo. Center ice for Canada. Newell Brown. It's cleared across the line. Tipped out that time by Dave Simpson. Back in with the Soviets rather quickly. Zubrilchev. Varianov. And the Soviets form that box in the Canadian zone. This is Payuzov at the point. Payuzov over for Zubrilchev. Back to Payuzov. It's backhanded and then off the Soviet player. Finally cleared down the ice by the Canadians. Simpson racing after it. Dave Simpson. Now Newell Brown. Simpson. Number 16, Brown 17, awaits in front, it doesn't get there. Payuzov for the Soviets. Varianov neatly away from the check. And Ferov into the corner for the Soviet Union. Cleared down the ice by Canada once more. Shot is on the goal. And Keaton only had 5 shots in that opening period. Golikov, or rather Farudnov at the line. Rudnov, number 20, cleared the line and not out, walking in. Good shot. Fired that time by Popakin. And the Canadians, with 38 seconds left in their manpower shortage, dump it down the ice. In after it, Von Karpen. He can't come up with it for Canada. Soviets regroup and start back quickly across their own line. And that time, ridden out Varianov. Two-line pass, as Von Karpen was on the receiving end of that pass out of the Canadian zone. So 20 seconds remain in the penalty. There's Davidov, sort of the head man of this Moscow Dynamo team.
Yes.
You're mentioning that the players listen to his every word. You know, I don't think there's a players union over in the Soviet Union. Don't they have to listen?
I would think it'd have to. I hate to think if they didn't listen, what would happen to them.
They may be forming one over there, but I think it's going to be a while before it has the strength of the NHL Players Union. 20 seconds left in the penalty. The shot from the point by Galushnikov. Right on. Rakello held on. Not a difficult save.
There we can look at Dave King again, and he's working along with Jacques Noel beside him on the bench from the University of Moncton. And working upstairs taking game notes is Wayne Fleming, who's from the University of Manitoba. Two excellent hockey men.
They've been having a pretty good time in this series. They both enjoy working with Dave King, and of course,
oh, he's a great teacher.
He's had some success, so other coaches are quick to follow behind and enjoy learning from him, of course. Face off. Cleared into the Canadian zone. Golikov played it behind the Canadian net. Even strength now. Right out in front. Golikov missed a good opportunity. As Rakello foiled him once more. Back to the point now. Kept in by Durden. Durden into the corner. That one trickled off the post. And it was finally cleared up and over the boards by the Canadian defense. 2-1, Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada. 15 minutes, 51 seconds to play in the second period.
Here, nice pass by Balderas to Golikov, and Trakola makes a great save with his pad. He's been just simply awesome this period.
Two big saves for Trakello, and the Canadian team now back at full strength. Penalty to Ken Duggan has expired. Face-off will be in the Canadian zone. This time, Trakello's right. And right from the face-off, back to the point. Ayuzov couldn't keep it in for the Soviet Union, and here comes Team Canada. This is Brad Schur, number 18, number 19. And Canada, Brad Schur couldn't control it. Schur riding Slipchenko off and out of the play. Soviets break away once more. This is Zabelchev. Zabelchev looking to the left side, fired that one across. It was a pass well behind the play. Back for Team Canada now. This is Mike Ridley. Ridley at the line. And the Soviets, good chance here as they come out across the center ice area. 2-on-2. Over for Anferov. Backhand shot that time by Varianov. And Canada now at 2-on-2. Over on the right side, it's Schur. Soviets out across their line. Neutral zone. And back to regroup. Zabelchev. Soviets trying to get a few new players on the ice. This is Vazikov. Back in for Radudin. Radudinov. Now Canada across the line at Benoit Doucette, and he was offside. So the face-off will be just outside the Moscow Dynamo line. 2-1. Soviets in control and leading Canada. This is game 4 in the series. And the Soviets have won the previous 3, 4-2, 5-2, and 6-2. In the center ice area, Rudnov is checked, and it's dumped back into the Moscow zone. Back for it there, Popakin. Left wing pass, and the Soviets break out quickly. Varianov, shot right on, and once more, Trakello is down to make the save.
Team Canada has to start getting some offense punch going here. They can't rely on Trakello to make all these saves. He's been great. Watch the play here. It's a nice pad save on Varianov shot.
Face off. The right of Trakello. Canadians get it to the line and out. Good move by Craig Simpson to get it across the line at the Soviet blue line. And it was poked out quickly once more. This is Ken Duggan. Duggan dumps it in for Canada. Back behind his own goal, Durden, number 22. That's Mike Ridley. For Canada, and along the boards, Von Karpen can't keep it in. Canadians in control in the neutral zone. 13:44 to play in the second period. This is the Gardens in London, Ontario, in Game 4 of this Team Canada 85 series against the Moscow Dynamo. Back to the point. Duggan's shot right on. And kicked out by Nikitin. Soviets cleared all the way down into the Canadian zone. Backboard is Duggan. Icing is not called. Into the neutral zone as the Soviets regroup. Back to their own line now. Valderas. Good pass ahead. That time for Semenov. Semenov still circling with the puck. And he was checked off out of the play. Back to the point. Durden kept it in. Good heavy hitting in there by Canada. And Kirkello is down to make another big save. Kirkello. And a Soviet player draped all over him as he finally kicked it away. For Canada now. In across the line. Newell Brown, 17 on the right side. In behind the net. Working out in front. They score! It was Craig Simpson out in front. Newell Brown had a big hand in that one as well.
Jeff Greenlaw finishes that play off on some good work by Newell Brown here along the boards. Pass into Simpson. He comes and tries to jam it. Rebound comes back to Greenlaw. The young 16-year-old scores his first goal. He plays for the St. Catharines Junior Bees. Youngest player on the ice tonight.
So it's all even at 2. Canada worked pretty hard for that one. A couple of close calls at the other end of the ice.
The Canada goal was scored by number 28, Jeff Greenlaw. Assisted by number 17, Newell Brown. And 16, Dave Simpson. Time of 7:18.
So all even. The puck back into the Canadian zone. Kept in by the Soviets at the point. After it for Canada, Rob Whistle. Soviets claim it back to the point. Slipchenko lets fly. And that one deflected wide. Soviets keep it in. As Sasov gets it out in front. Soviets can't convert it into a good scoring opportunity. Dubrelchev, 18 for the Soviets, in around behind the Canadian goal. Jim Quinn for Canada gives it a pretty rough ride into the boards. And they hold it for a faceoff. It's 2-2 with 11 minutes, 56 seconds to play in period 2. Well, things have certainly livened up at the Gardens in London with Canada getting the equalizer once more. That's the second time the Canadians have come back to tie. Face off in the Canadian zone. It's flipped down the ice. Racing after it for the Soviets. Popakin. Popakin across the line with center ice area. Now over on the left side. Stopped at the line, but they keep on coming. Faraduanov. Varianov, number 12. Into the corner against Jim Quinn for Canada. Outside in front, claimed by Serge Roy. Canadians go on blue line. Pass over on the left side. And it was offside. Kosteruk in just a little ahead of the puck that time, number 13. All right, the Blue Bonnet Bowl, West Virginia against Texas Christian. That's coming up New Year's Eve on TSN as we continue our bowl coverage of college football in its most important season. The Blue Bonnet Bowl is next up. Face off outside the Soviet line. That's Ken Duggan for Canada. And on the left side for Craig Simpson. Soviets break up the play and start back out in the center ice area. Semenov, number 26. And around behind the Canadian goal, Craig Simpson has problems with it along the boards. The Soviets keep it in. Loose puck out in front. And it's claimed by Team Canada. Breaking out for Canada. Long pass that time by Elkidas. In the center ice area, Soviets in across the Canadian line. Neatly poked away. Soviets keep coming. Shot right on, and it's in. Durden, number 22, beating Trichello from the slot.
Fine shot by Durden there. He beats Trichello low on the stick side. It's a hard blast here. You notice comes across to him right here. He just lets go with a low, hard shot, low on the stick side. Beats him clean. Another angle over here. Alderis throws it back to him. He lets it go with a great slap shot.
Vladimir Durden, assisted by number 10, Vladimir Gorokov, and his 19, Talon Balderas. Time 9:24.
So the Soviets back into the lead. The Moscow Dynamo have held the lead through most of the game. Canada has equalized the count a couple of times, but that has not lasted very long. Soviets offside of the Canadian line. Game statistics are being provided by Hewlett-Packard's portable personal computer, and they're keeping us up to date with shots on goal and just about everything you'd want to know about a Soviet-Canada hockey showdown.
There's Durden, who just let go of a fine slap shot from the point, and he's a good player. He's 28 years old. He's got 2 assists along with his 1 goal so far in this tournament.
Soviets flip it back into the Canadian zone. Slivchenko back to the point now as Payuzov can't keep it in. And Payuzov back quickly, though, to regroup at his own blue line. He flips it into the center ice area, picked up there by Zubrelchev. Zubrelchev wrestled away from the puck, and the Canadians start back. It's flipped in by Greenlaw, Jeff Greenlaw, number 28. Soviets quick to claim it in their own zone, and Zubrelchev starts back for the Soviets. Can't get away, though. Payuzov has some problems in the Soviet zone. Canada's forechecking the Soviets has not been quite as effective in this period. The Soviets are able to get away rather quickly. Holloway, Bruce Holloway for Canada, trying to make a pass in the center ice zone, and had it go too far. Now the Canadians outskate the icing call, and it's right out in front, off a skate, back to the point, winding up for the shot. Thomas, rebound, and that time the Canadians couldn't quite get a shot on goal from the rebound. Newell Brown will be thinking about that one, number 17. Backhand shot, and he scores. Looked simple enough, but the Soviets now into a 4-2 lead.
Oh, great backhand by
Zubrelchev.
Great backhand by Zubrelchev. Comes down one-on-one on Thomas, makes a move to his backhand, let go of the high backhand. Beats Trichello high on the stick side. Look at this move. His backhand just fires. Fine shot.
So it's 4-2.
Moscow Dynamo by number 18, Vladimir Zubrelchev. Time unassisted at 10:45.
It's unfortunate because Canada had some good pressure on there, and Newell Brown almost scored on a rebound.
Well, it looked like an innocent enough play, but when Soviet hockey players pull it off, they make it look rather easy, and that one, the backhand, looked rather smooth. So Canada down by 2 now as the Soviets regroup. Vazikov back behind his own line. Play broken up that time by Francois Sills back behind the Canadian line. And Canada starts back. Miscue in the center ice zone, and back for it now is Paul Thomas, number 8. Thomas ahead for Benoit Doucette. And it's into the Soviet zone. Doucette coming up with a Doucette right out in front. And Kosteruk couldn't get there for that one. Soviets start back. Led this time by Slivchenko. In behind the Canadian goal, right out in front. Trichello is down and holds it out that time. There was not a real good scoring opportunity there, but the loose puck was dangerous enough. It's 4-2. Moscow leading Canada.
Get a shot here of a nice save again by Trichello on Durianov.
There you see the score, 4-2. And we're halfway through the second period, 8 minutes, 28 seconds to play. In the second, Soviets win the draw. It's kept in at the point by Durden. Durden fired it wide, and now Canada gets it out. This is Karpin, number 15. After it, Luzenkov. Soviets all the way down into the Canadian zone. Back for it this time is Schnurr. And icing is called.
This is going to be a very interesting shift to see how young Simpson does against Golikov and Balderas. The only two players who have played in the Canada Cup. They played in 1981. We'll just have to see how he holds up this shift. There's Golikov, as I mentioned, played the 1981 Canada Cup and scored 2 goals.
2 goals in previous games in this series so far as well. Canada claiming the puck behind the net. Sure tried to play it out in front and went off the net. Now the Soviets dump it out into the neutral zone. Canada forced back to the blue line to regroup. This is Ken Duggan. Duggan tried to get it ahead for Craig Simpson. And Simpson offside of the Soviet line. So the face-off will be just outside the Moscow Dynamo blue line. This is game 4 of a 10-game series of the Moscow Dynamo. And there's young Craig Simpson. Some say, Darcy, he might be the #1 draft pick.
There is a lot of talk about that, John, and there are many scouts here tonight, I'm sure, watching to see how he holds up in this type of action. He's 6'2", 180 pounds.
Into the Soviet zone, racing after it for Canada is Newell Brown, number 17. Brown clears it around behind the net for Dave Simpson. Simpson can't control it. Now Simpson comes up with it again. 2 Soviets against 2 Canadians. Soviets win it as Slipchenko comes up with a loose puck. Slipchenko ahead for Zabrelchev. And quickly over for Sashov. Sashov circling in front of the Canadian goal, working his way right in and fired it wide. Rakello made a move on it though, back to the point. And it's blocked as Canada comes out with Greenlaw. He's played pretty strongly for the Canadians. Greenlaw is just 16 years of age. Soviets backing across the line right out in front, and Rakello came out to make another big save as the Soviets walked right in again. The Canadian defense backing up too much, Darcy.
They are backing up, and they cannot afford to be sloppy. They've got to go at the Soviet forwards and take them one-on-one and let them get in shots in net.
Out across the line into the center ice zone. Neither team appears to want it very badly. Now the Soviets. Moscow Dynamo come up with it. Zabrelchev. He's still got it. Drop pass. Backhand shots. And Rakello made the save that time on Verudinov. They're looking for a whistle in the Canadian zone. It comes loose now. Francois Sills back out in front by the Soviets. Baryanov gets a shot away. Rakello made the save. Back to the point now. Vazikov. And another loose puck fired just wide by Baryanov. Or rather by Sashov. So Rakello holds the fort. Soviets are on the march. Face off to the right of Darryl Rakello. And he's been very busy, particularly in the second period. Some big saves. Another one there, right off the face-off.
Doucet's not very happy with himself in that face-off. He's got to take Baryanov and not let him get that shot away. It's his man. But a good pad save.
Well, he had the angle well covered, but he still had to keep it out. Benoit Doucet at center for Canada. He lost the draw back to the Soviets right at the line. Another save by Rakello as the Moscow Dynamo continue to apply pressure here. Doucet into the corner to help out Serge Roy for Canada. Soviets finally losing control of the puck, loose in the center ice area, but Moscow Dynamo claim it once more. Out across the line and poked back in by Doucet. The games on TSN is still to come. January 3rd in Ottawa, then we'll move to Calgary at the Saddle Dome on January 6th and finish off the TSN schedule January 9th in Montreal. Team Canada 85 against the Moscow Dynamo on your sports network TSN. Canada trying to gain control of the puck in the zone. This is Alcatis into the center ice zone. And the Soviets backboard, Durden. This is Golikov going in on the right side, right out in front. Good opportunity there. Play broken up, and Canada starts back. Von Karpin. Karpin. Down the right side to the net. Turned around, left it behind the goal of the Soviets. Right out in front once more. And Canada, all kinds of pressure. Good opportunity that time for 18, Jacques Sylvestre. Canada came up with the best scoring opportunity of this second period. Lots of pressure by the Canadians. Sylvestre taken out of the play rather heavily. Along the board, Sylvestre still gets it out in front. It's to the point. Duggan keeps it in for Canada. Now the Soviets start back. There's a man open on the left side. Balderas, number 19, still with the puck right out in front. Trichello is down. And it was tipped away at the last possible second as Trichello was hopelessly out of the play. A long shot fired just wide by Dave Simpson. Action has certainly picked up in the last 30 seconds or so. Balderas going in. Neatly taken out that time. Good play by Bruce Holloway. In front of the Canadian goal once more, and a good save by Trichello. Yes, he just barely kept that one out. Good hitting, too.
Good hit here by Craig Simpson. He hits Durden and just levels it into the boards. I guess the kick and hit, too. That's a good sign. Scouts will like that.
Craig Simpson is 6'2", 180 pounds. A native of London, Ontario, currently in his second year at Michigan Tech University. Good hockey school.
That's right. So we've seen some good action here, and the fans are really enjoying this part of the game.
Center ice for Canada. Simpson's older brother, Dave. We mentioned earlier in the telecast the first time the Simpson brothers of London, Ontario have played a meaningful hockey game together. Dave is 22 and Craig is 17. Canada has problems at the blue line. Terry Jones, number 12, lost it momentarily. Now Jones goes back to regroup, gets around one Soviet forechecker and across the blue line. And he's ridden out of the play by Slavchenko. Shot fired wide, that time by Rob Whistle. Big shot, that time from Dave Simpson. And Nikitin kept it out for the Soviets. Bruce Holloway back to clear it to the line, not quite out, but here comes Canada. Long lead pass ahead on the right side. Trailing on the play, Jones. Nothing really materialized for the Canadians this time. Zubrelchev down the Soviet right wing. Zubrelchev. Renferov. And again, Trichello is called upon to make the big save. Also out in front, Kasturic of Canada. He helped out. 19-6, the shots on goal in this period for the Moscow Dynamo. There you see the score.
Trichello makes another great save here. The puck goes across here. Peyuzov, and he lets go, and a great pad save. The action in front there with Kasturic.
3 minutes and 1 second to play in the second period. It's 4-2. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada face off in the Canadian zone. And here come the Canadians up the center ice area. And on the left side for Kasturic. Kasturic. In around behind the net. And the Soviets back quickly to reclaim it now for Canada. Back to the point. Serge Roy for Doucette. Doucette fires one. And Nikitin kept it out.
Well, the Canadians are getting their chances right now, and I'm sure they love to break that 2-goal they've been stuck on in each game, and I'm sure it's like a jinx right now. Once they get that third goal, I'm sure it'll give them a lot more confidence and realize they can score on this team.
Dave King told me before the game, if they get 3 goals tonight, he's sending the team over the bench. That's what he said, of course, jesting a little bit. Kasturic in the corner for Canada. Played it in behind the net for Doucette. Right out in front for Kasturic. Back for Doucette. Shot from the point. Fired wide by Serge Roy. And Roy may get it again. He was open. Now right out in front. Kasturic didn't get a chance. There's a penalty coming up. It looks like it'll be going to the Soviets. And Doucette was right on the doorstep. Nikitin kicked it out, but a penalty coming up.
Balzakov, I believe, is going off 2 minutes for high sticking. Some action in front of the net here. He's a feisty little guy that gets his nose in the action. There's Nikitin there. Yesterday at practice, he was caught wandering in one of the drills.
And there's a good story. He told me, I like this one.
And for punishment, the Soviet coach made him lay the goal net down, and he go to the side of the rink and skate all the way across the net rink and dive over the net and land on his stomach. I guess doesn't want him leaving the goal crease.
Henry Moscow Dynamo, number 4, Yuri Balzakov, 2 minutes for iron sticking and 17:40.
Well, it'll be a great time for Team Canada to take advantage of this manpower advantage. Face-off is cleared down into the Canadian zone rather quickly, and the Soviets will forecheck adversely here, I'm sure. 4-2. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 85. Canadians having some problems getting it rolling. Balderas broke up that play. Golikov is in forechecking now. Canada's Simpson. That's Dave Simpson at the blue line. Lost it there. And that forced Callow to come out of his net. Golikov had a chance at a loose puck. The Canadians reclaim it. Starting back, Newell Brown. Into the Soviet zone. Play a little scrambly right here, but the Canadians do have the pressure on with a manpower advantage. And it's whistled down as the goal came off the moorings down there.
Jacques Sylvestre out there, number 18 for Team Canada, was a New York Islander draft choice and suffered a broken hand at training camp and did not play in Game 3 in Windsor because of his hand is still bothered. But he's out there, and he wants to represent his country in a positive manner. He's a feisty guy, too.
Well, the face-off will be to Nikitin's right. 1 minute 35 seconds to play in the second period. 4-2, the Dynamo leading Team Canada. Brett Doucette at center for Canada. He lost the draw. Soviets quickly to the attack. Lushnikov flips it all the way down as the Soviets continue to kill off a penalty. 1 minute 6 seconds remain in the Canadian advantage. Really not one good scoring opportunity as a result of this particular power play. This is Sills getting around behind the net for Canada. He's taken out heavily to the blue line and out as Rob Whistle just moved the wrong way that time. He anticipated incorrectly. Now, Holloway has it taken off his stick, going right in. Andrew Kello is hit heavily by Zabrilchev, going in to take that scoring opportunity. Long shot that time by Kostarik for Canada, and Keaton is down to make the save. He held on. Bit of a collision down there.
Good shot by Kostarik. Comes to the blue line. Let's go. A hard slap shot. Nikitin just covers up the rebound.
I guess that's why the Soviet coach gets him diving over the goal. He practiced that play.
Good practice, yes. He's 23 years old, and it's the second game of the series.
Yuri Nikitin. Face off in the Soviet zone. Fired just wide. That time by Halkitis. Out in front and cleared neatly by Peyuzov for the Soviets. Serge Roy back to regroup for Team Canada. 11 seconds left in the Canadian power play. And it doesn't look like they'll get another solid scoring opportunity on this manpower advantage. Back to even now with 17 seconds left in the period. This is Craig Simpson, 27. Falling to the ice as he wrestled with Slipchenko, 24. Clear to the Canadian line with 1 second on the clock, and that about does it for the second period. Well, Canada got back to even, but then 2 quick Soviet goals, and Moscow Dynamo take a 2-goal lead to the dressing room once more.
Well, they're still very much in this hockey game, and if they can come out, regroup in the third period, and play like they did in Windsor in Game 3, they're going to have a good period. And you know, Trakalov made some outstanding saves to keep them in the game, and Canada is just having problems finishing the playoff in front of the net.
I suppose one of the things we could discuss at this stage is the fact that Dave King has so many lineup changes night after night, and he's just trying to adjust that lineup, fine-tune it just a little bit, and try and put those combinations together. So these lines have not played together for very long either.
It's a very difficult situation. You bring players in for 1 game or 2 games, they don't know each other, and they've got to go out there and play as a unit. And sometimes it's a very difficult situation, but they're adapting quite well.
All right, entertaining hockey nonetheless. It's the Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 4-2 after 2. The Gardens in London, Ontario, are ready for period number 3. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 4-2 after 2 periods of play. And it was close for Canada for a while in the second period. Here's the scoring summary. For Canada, Greenlaw got things even at 2-2, 7-18, but then Durden right back with less than 2 minutes after that. And Zabrilchev gave the Soviets a 4-2 lead. So after 2 periods of play. It's the Soviets leading Canada 4-2. Moscow out shooting Team Canada 20-8 in the second period.
Well, Canada still has a chance. They have 20 minutes, and they had their best period of the tournament in Game 3 during the third period. So let's hope they do the same thing tonight.
Well, they're regrouping down there around their goaltender, Darryl Tricallo. Big advantage for the Moscow Dynamo in shots on goal in that second period, Darcy.
Yes, there was a big advantage, and they've had a big shot advantage the whole game, and Canada has to get more shots and more offensive thrust in the Soviet zone.
Well, we'll see if Dave King has made any adjustments, mid-course corrections to get Canada back within a goal quickly, and then we should have a pretty good period of hockey if it gets to a 4-3 hockey game. Canada has not scored more than 2 goals in any game in the tournament so far. This is game number 4. Soviets quickly to the attack, cleared in by Marianov. Back into the center ice area, and the Soviets neatly flip it across the line, but Sills is there for Canada. Francois Sills, and held along the boards by Bruce Holloway, so the face-off will be in the Canadian
tournament in Game 3 during the third period. So let's hope they do the same thing tonight.
Well, they're regrouping down there around their goaltender, Darryl Tricallo. Big advantage for the Moscow Dynamo in shots on goal in that second period, Darcy.
Yes, there was a big advantage, and they've had a big shot advantage the whole game, and Canada has to get more shots and more offensive thrust in the Soviet zone.
Well, we'll see if Dave King has made any adjustments, mid-course corrections to get Canada back within a goal quickly, and then we should have a pretty good period of hockey if it gets to a 4-3 hockey game. Canada has not scored more than 2 goals in any game in the tournament so far. This is game number 4. Soviets quickly to the attack, cleared in by Marianov. Back into the center ice area, and the Soviets neatly flip it across the line, but Sills is there for Canada. Francois Sills, and held along the boards by Bruce Holloway, so the face-off will be in the Canadian zone, to the right of Tricallo.
You look at Bruce Holloway there. He's a draft choice of the Vancouver Canucks, and right now playing for the Fredericton Express in the American Hockey League. And in 16 games, has 2 goals and 1 assist, and also has 2 assists in this tournament.
Face off, the puck is just left in the circle. Now it's picked up by Craig Simpson, flipped across the Canadian line. Loose to the center ice area, but quickly claimed by the Soviets. Balderas flips it across the Canadian line. Back for it now. Craig Simpson, number 27. He looked rather impressive in his debut with Team Canada. Expected to be a very high draft choice in the NHL draft. He's eligible this year. Currently at the University of Michigan, number 27, Craig Simpson. Just 17 years old.
Just amazing, and he will be a high draft choice this year. And there's Ken Duggan, a big defenseman who goes to the University of Toronto, plays for Tom Watt.
Father is the golf pro at the Markland Wood Golf Club just outside of Toronto. Soviets controlling along the boards in the Canadian zone. Still with the puck, Balderas got it out in front. No one was there for the Moscow Dynamo. Back to the Soviet line now. Durden is back for it, number 22. In the center ice zone, picked up by Von Karpen for Canada. Karpen back to his own line, and it's dumped into Dynamo territory once more. Back there and circling around behind his net is Durden, number 22. He lost the puck, and it's picked up for Canada by Sylvestre. Jacques Sylvestre, number 18. Held along the boards, and we'll have a face-off. Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 4-2. Back at the London Gardens, ready for a face-off in the Soviet zone. Canadians win the draw. It's not able to be kept in. Back at the point, Jim Quinn now back for it for Canada. Soviets claim it at their own blue line. And starting back, Zubrelchev. Back behind his line as the Soviets regroup. Fired right on the shot for Kellogg. Set it aside for Team Canada. Back to the point now. Winding up with a shot. Savchenko can't get it away. Out across the line finally, but the Soviets claim it as soon as it does, and Ferrov takes it right back in. Flipped across the boards, and the face-off will be in the neutral center ice area. Upcoming games that will not be covered by TSN in Kitchener. The next game, January 2nd, so a couple of days off. Then in Toronto, January 4th of Friday nights, and on to Thunder Bay, January 7th. Our next telecast will be from Ottawa on January the 3rd. Soviets claiming it's Shashov. And now Shashov takes a return pass in across the Canadian line. He's ridden out of the play, claiming the loose puck. Kostarek, number 13. Kostarek over on the right side for Francois Sills. Sills, good pass in the center ice area. Back for Kostarek in across the line. And he's ridden out of the play by Payuzov. Puck jammed along the boards, and the face-off will be in the Soviet zone. Kostarek showing a little bit of speed, Darcy.
Yes, he's a very spunky little guy, and he scored one of the Team Canada's goals tonight. He's got an excellent shot, and with any other type of luck, he could have scored a couple more goals, especially in Game 3 in Windsor.
Mark Kostarek, native of North Bay, currently attending Concordia University. Canada controlling in behind the Soviet goal after the face-off. Doucette set it right across in front of the net. No one was there for Canada to get a shot at the Soviet net. Doucette missed it in behind the goal. Now Sills, number 11, in after it. Sills can't control. Pinching in from his spot at the point. Rob Whistle, he can't keep it in. Soviets got across the line, but Canada back-checking well, and that time it was Jacques Sylvestre breaking up the Dynamo play. Now Skurduk, number 7, over on the right side for Baranov. And his shot deflected high and over the glass in amongst the spectators. 4-2, Moscow Dynamo leading Team Canada 85. 16 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the second period. Third period, I should say.
Well, there's Helmut Balderas, and he's the leading scorer with 7 points in this tournament, and he's a very tricky hockey player. As we mentioned earlier, played the 1981 Canada Cup. And notice the top of his helmet with the word jazz there. He's a jazz lover.
From the face-off, it's around behind the net, jammed along the boards, and we'll do it all over again in the circle to the right of Trakalo this time.
Get a picture there of Francois Sills. He's the leading goal scorer for Team Canada with 3.
Back from the face-off, Canada breaks out in the center ice area. This is Simpson, and Simpson ridden neatly out of the play by 2 Soviets. Semenov was one, number 27. Simpson up with it again. That's Craig Simpson. He fed it out in front, and Von Karpin couldn't keep it in. Karpin just misjudged that one. Duggan ahead for Sylvestre. Soviets into the center ice area in control once more. To the line, offside. Golikov, number 10, just a stride ahead of Balderas that time. Moscow Dynamo still hanging on to a 2-goal lead. Well, some happy fans enjoying Team Canada's tour here in London, Ontario. The face-off will be just outside the Canadian blue line. And across the line after the draw, Serge Roy is back forward, dumps it to the center ice zone. The Soviets there to claim it quickly. Slipchenko back in across the line. Sashov wrestling forward. Shevchenko slips it in. Working in on the goal is Ferrov, and Ferrov got it right out in front. Now loose along the boards, and they'll jam it up there once more. That time Paul Thomas was there for Canada.
There you can look at Serge Roy from the University of Moncton, playing with a face shield tonight. Suffered a cut in his nose area during Game 3 in Windsor. Required some stitches, but got a tremendous shot from the point. One of the hardest shooters on Team Canada.
Bruce Holloway's got a pretty good shot too.
He's got an excellent shot also.
Canada winning the draw, and not quite across the blue line. Now it is, and the Soviets Payuzov flipped it back in. We'll have another face-off.
Oh, it can be so frustrating to play against the Soviets. They're a fine hockey team, and they can check you close. They can play wide open. Right now, it looks like they're just checking Canada very closely.
Well, you give the Soviets a 2-goal lead, and it's pretty tough to catch up on them.
Well, they're a very difficult team to play catch-up hockey with. Canada has to score a goal here early to get right back in the action.
This is Rob Whistle, rink-wide pass over there for Kostaruk. It was offside at the Soviet line. 15 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the third period. This is Game 4 of the Dynamo 85 tour.
There's Benoit Doucette, player of the game in Game 3 in Windsor, and first year in political science, University of Moncton.
Here come the Soviets once more, cleared into the Canadian zone, that time by Popikin. Canada in control, Francois Sills. Long lead pass, went too far for Kostaruk. Backboard for the Soviet Union, Vazikov.
Vazikov's got 1 goal so far in this tournament. He's not that tall, but he's a spunky type of guy that likes to take the body.
Vazikov, 24 years old, about the mid-range of age on this Moscow Dynamo team. They have goaltender not in action tonight, 36 years old. Here come the Soviets once more. This time, Marianov driven out of the play. And starting back for Canada now. Terry Jones is number 12, and they whistle it down. So it's been slow action here in the third period. They haven't been able to get too much of a rhythm going.
As you mentioned, Veselnik, the goaltender, is 36 years old, the oldest player on the Moscow Dynamo team. The oldest player on Team Canada is Paul Thompson, 24. There's Terry Jones, number 12, from native of Trail, BC, and going to University of Calgary. Former Portland Winterhawk of the Western Canada Junior Hockey League.
And in goal, Nikkanen. He has not been tested too severely by Team Canada, although he has been beaten twice. For Canada, Jones gets it across the Soviet line, quickly claimed there by Durden, number 22. And nifty work that time by Balderas, but see, he was outside. Pretty good display of stick handling ability, no question about that. But the Soviets is down on the other end of the ice.
Durden's down the corner. Looks like could be a right leg.
Number 22, Vladimir Durden. And that injury well behind the play. Not the reason for the stoppage.
There's a bit of commotion going on there, as you see by the Soviet bench with Dave Simpson and the translator there wearing the glasses.
Wonder what he said, Darcy.
I don't know. I don't think Dave knew either.
Dave Simpson is the captain of this edition of Team Canada.
Got a great personality. It's a good choice.
Faceoff outside the Canadian line. Soviets in control. Slipchenko, 24. And he's taken out rather heartily that time by Dave Simpson. Slipchenko with the puck once more. Nice passing on the Dynamo team, no question about that. That one almost worked. Balderas almost in the clear for a pass from Golikov. No penalty is found there as Newell Brown went flying. Maybe a bit of a dive. Here's Balderas going in the shots. And the save by Tranquillo. They release the puck so darn quickly.
They do shoot it very quick here.
4-2, Moscow leading Team Canada. Moscow Dynamo in control of a 2-goal lead on Team Canada. And, well, 14 minutes to go in the period. Still lots of time to get that close-in goal and make it 4-3 for the Canadians.
You mentioned how well they shoot the puck and how quickly they shoot it. They've also got very, very big hooks in their sticks, and I'm sure that most of them are more than the half-inch you're allowed to use in the National Hockey League.
Been a busy young man tonight. Earl Tranquillo.
He's played very well for Team Canada. So
we're ready for the face-off to the right of Tranquillo. Canada wins the draw. That's Doucette. Benoit Doucette around dangerously in front of his own goal, but it worked out that time. As Kostarek works down the right side boards. Kostarek, very fast skater. Here's Doucette right out in front. Loose puck. And covering up neatly, Nikita. And that has everyone just a little bit upset down there. I didn't see the exact infraction, but obviously the Soviets protecting their goaltender a little bit.
One of the Soviet defenders gave a Canadian a cross-check in front of the net and sent him flying over top of Nikitin. Good action by Team Canada there. You see it right here, the action in front of Nikitin. Watch the cross-check in front of the net there. On Sills. Could have been a penalty there.
No one is heading for the penalty box, however.
Sticks to get a little bit high. Anytime you're playing for your country, you know, you want to do your best. And
on the face-off, back to the point. Shot fired by Halakidis. Halakidis working it along the boards, and that's Karpin, Von Karpin. And the heavy hitting is starting here. Well, the Soviets, Vazikov clearing it out. Long rink-wide pass to Skurduk, number 7. That play failed to materialize for the Soviets. It's back behind the Dynamo blue line and fired quickly up once more. Popakin, his pass intercepted, and it's cleared into the Canadian zone after it is Greg Simpson. Held along the boards, and they finally do get a whistle. Held there by Jacques Sylvestre. So with the score 4-2. 13 minutes and 3 seconds remain in period. All right, back for a face-off in the Soviet zone.
if the Soviets had a weakness, it would be the face-off. We'll talk about it in a minute here.
All right, good chance for Canada there. Paul Thomas fired it just wide and around behind the goal. That's Dave Simpson, number 16. Simpson leaving it there for Newell Brown. And Brown holds it along the boards along with Greenlaw. So another face-off in the Moscow zone.
If there was a weakness, as I say, it would be on face-off, because in Europe the ice surfaces are so much bigger that a scoring chance off a face-off isn't really that important. You don't get that many. And in Canada, the face-offs in both ends of the rink are very important, as you notice there.
Dynamo get it to the point, not quite out. Now it rolls across the line, and this is Helmut Balderas. One-on-one, Balderas, quick shot. And that one was kicked out by Trekalo. Dave Simpson gets it across the line. Greenlaw working in, takes the shot from the sharp angle. In the center ice zone once more, this is Paul Thomas. Thomas intended that pass for Newell Brown. Brown couldn't control it. Now back across the Canadian line and fed rink wide by Jim Quinn. Got up in the skates of one of the linesmen on the far side. Soviets gained the advantage from that as Canada lost possession because it went off the skate. Here's a chance for Canada. This is Schnurr rather, and he draws a penalty at least as he was hauled down.
Good play by Schnurr there. He breaks the outside of the Soviet defender, and he has to trip him. You notice here, Schnurr breaks the outside on Anfarov, and he has to upend him. Anfarov is normally a forward, so maybe he's not used to playing back there in defense and caught in a very unfamiliar position.
Compromising position cost you 2 minutes.
I've been back there before. When a forward comes down on you and you're not used to it, it's very difficult at times.
So, Canadian power play. Comes at a most opportune time, I suppose. 12 minutes to go.
Great chance for Canada to get back in this hockey game, get a goal here. It will just live everybody up here.
Canada Cup Hockey, a New Year's Day special, will replay the Canada-Soviet game from back in the fall. That 3-2 overtime victory for Canada. Some thrilling moments in international hockey in that one. Back to the point. It's kept in by Newell Brown. Canada on the power play. Kostruk couldn't clear it through. He comes up with it again. This is Kostruk back to the point. Winding up Serge Roy, deflected in front, but it was deflected the wrong way. 27 seconds left in the Canadian power play. Serge Roy. Roy to Kosteruk. And that was outside the Soviet line.
Canada will be looking to get the puck back to the man at the point and let go with a shot, hope for some sort of rebound or deflection that can result in a goal for Canada.
Face-off will be just outside the Moscow Dynamo blue line. And skating into the circle is Craig Simpson against the veteran Soviet Golikov. Golikov won the draw that time, and the Dynamo dump it down into the Canadian zone. Trakalov out to set it up. 1 minute, 7 seconds left in the Canadian power play. This is Rob Whistle leading the attack, and again, Canada outside. I suppose, Darcy, the offsides caused a little bit by the inexperience of the Canadian team playing together.
Well, they haven't played much together, and they had a practice this morning, but it does take time to get to know each other and what to do out there, and you really can't fault the Canadians for that.
Again, Simpson lost the draw one more time. That time, Golikov again.
Another thing with Canada, they've got about 7 center icemen in their lineup, and 3 of them are playing unfamiliar positions, so that may be a bit of a transition, too.
Dave Simpson passed that one for brother Craig Simpson across 2 lines. So there are a few problems as Canada tries to get this power play on track. Dave King making mental notes, I'm sure.
He's been very happy the way the players have played up to this point, and actually they put together a pretty good effort tonight.
Just inside the Canadian line, now 45 seconds left in the power play.